Didn't Zach Crockett go to Florida?
Don't matter who went to Florida. Look, watch this. We talking about how Roll Tide gonna have a flat tire in the playoffs.
Who you have on the show, man? Who is this guy, man?
Let's go, baby. Let's go. You know it's great to beat a Florida Gator. So
Oh my God! I am looking at that. Is that
Omega Top 5? Omega Top 5 Fraternity Incorporated, baby. Yes, baby. Earn that, baby. Earn that. 26 weeks online, baby.
It's cool. It's cool.
I'm hoping to get on stage with him one day. So I can talk.
Hang on, Manswell. I got to tell you my Tyler Perry story. So in 2007, I was on his date.
All right.
And so you know, you go to a date, you go out to eat and go see a movie. Well, I was gonna let the girl pick the movie, and this movie called "Why Did I Get Married?" I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. She wanted to go see it. She said she saw the preview for it, and I was like, okay, you know, I figured it was gonna be a chick flick. I didn't know it was a Tyler Perry movie. She did. Okay, so we go in there and we sit down, we're chit-chatting and everything. Okay, you can imagine we're the only white people in the theater. She went out there and she made this comment right before the movie started. She looked around and she said, Joey, do you realize we're the only white people in the movie theater? And I said, yeah, because this is the Tyler Perry movie. Because I saw it on when I figured the Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married? And she said, it's so many black people. And I'm sitting there like, you shut up. But now here's the funny thing. This little old lady behind us stared me down the whole freaking time. I think it's because I kept looking back at her and looking at her, but she is like she got offended with what she said. Instead of staring, I don't want to say the girl's name, but instead of staring her down, she stared me down. Yeah, and I was like, I didn't say it. It was her. I didn't even like the movie. I thought it was stupid.
So tell me, so how that date go afterwards, right?
It was a one-time date.
I figured that.
Yeah, it was a one-time date. I didn't even get a kiss at the end of the night.
Oh
man, that was a bad date.
So this is how we're gonna do it. Stingray, Rafael, do y'all want to do the introduction?
Sure.
All right. You want to know who these people are? Stingray, do you want to do the intro?
I guess. I mean, just whatever, man.
Okay. I should have just.
We got a Georgia Tech and Auburn behind him. Oh my gosh. Okay, I saw that. I'm sorry.
All right, Rafael, do the intro, and okay, so you want to take a mental note of this, or do you want, or what? You think you can handle it?
You talking to me or Rafael?
Rafael.
Okay.
What would you like the intro to be? Can you guys hear me? I'm not sure if my mic is.
I can hear you. You're good. Man.
You're good.
I can't see Stingray for some reason. I can see you three guys.
Everybody can see Stingray. Why couldn't you see Stingray?
You got to slide his monitor over.
Tell mom to.
Rafael, you can't get no good equipment in Harlem.
That's my stuff.
He's like on another page. No, I can only see you three guys. For some reason, he's coming up on another page. I would have to swipe.
He's on a different page, man. He's all by himself, man. It's like he got in trouble in school or something, man. He's in the corner.
Hey, Stingray's a bad boy. I'm telling you.
Time out.
Stingray does this stuff on his own.
Thank you, man.
Everybody's on here. So look, you got Shawn Harper. He's a motivational speaker, played in the NFL. Manswell T. Peterson, author, books going to HBO, and a movie's being in production next year. What's the name of the movie?
Well, which one? Because I got Coming Home.
One in Columbus.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Coming Home.
Coming Home.
Okay.
And Stingray, you got Comedy Central, Paul Feinberg, SEC Network, and he's the host of the Stingray Show and the newest member of CTS.
Yes.
You got all that?
Sure.
And then, of course, you got me, and you can say what the you can say whatever you want to say.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Look at that eyebrow. So, do you have all that?
Sure. You want me to introduce the show? Or you want me to introduce the network? What exactly is it?
This is Jesus loves me. If you would like pick up your phone, just say, hey, this is the final season. I mean, this is the final episode of the CTS for 2020.
You mean this Christmas extravaganza show?
Whatever you want to say, Rafael. I know you can be entertaining. Introduce everybody. Okay, you got Manswell, author, movies, HBO, Shawn Harper, NFL, motivational speaker, Stingray, Comedy Central, SEC Network, the Stingray Show, newest member of CTS, me, and then you.
All right.
Are
you ready? I wish I had the NBA soundtrack.
Golly.
The one, the only. NFL Pro Bowl Hall of Famer Shawn Harper. Just go with it.
All right. So anyway, on 5, 4, 3. Stingray, what are you doing?
I was doing it too, man. 2, 1, trying to get this thing rolling, man.
3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, good evening, and good night, and welcome to the CTS interview room with Shawn Harper, Joseph Lozada, Maxwell Peterson, and the one and only Stingray. Coming to you live from New York City, I'm Rafael Lozada. Here we are with the Christmas extravaganza at the CTS Network. Joseph, take it away.
Man, you're fired. So tonight we got this is gonna be the last show of 2020. We got my good friend HBO bound, got a movie coming out, one of his books, Manswell T. Peterson. How you doing, Manswell?
Hey man, I'm good, man. Look, a little sore from that whipping Alabama put on us, but I'm good. I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got the motivational speaker, former NFL player Shawn Harper. How you doing, Shawn?
Hey, you know what? I'm doing absolutely wonderful, getting set up and prepped for this bowl season. And I cannot wait till we cut through the fluff and start having this college football and professional talk, because something's telling me that's about to be very interesting.
Okay. And then, of course, we got the man, the myth, the legend, legendary actor, legendary construction worker, one of the founding members of the CTS interview room. He did a hell of a job interviewing everybody on this show, but didn't tell nobody what the hell they do for a living. Rafael Lozada. How you doing, Rafael?
I've been in the flesh. I'm doing great. 11 months into 2 weeks to slow the curve.
And now we got the newest member of the CTS interview room. He's the host of his very own show on Facebook, the Stingray Show. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw him on Tosh Point. You saw him on Paul Fireburn, give him that football knowledge. Paul don't want none of this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, the newest member of the CTS interview room, the one, the only Stingray. Stingray, how you doing?
Good, sir. How about you, man? And first off, let me just go ahead and say Merry Christmas to all of you guys here and watching.
Now, first question is, did anybody see that Stingray video he posted today?
No, I can't wait to go see it though, because I know he done did something.
Yes,
I know he done did something.
My bad, Stingray. He said Stingray don't care. He got in that Santa Claus outfit, and Stingray was like, "Merry Christmas. We're doing it today,
Okay,
y'all."
I can't wait to go see this. Okay, I can't wait.
I sang a little bit of Dean Martin, my friends. So I basically did the rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by the one and only Dean Martin. And it's there on the Facebook page, so go make sure you check that out.
There you go, Rafael. Now, this is the first time ever in the history of your life that you met the biggest college football fan of all time. Tell me, you got the goosebumps? You feel it?
I have a bump. Can't tell you. I can't talk about it. It's a family show, but I'm excited to be here. So how was 2020 treating you guys?
How's
Wait,
2020 is treating me good. Shawn, how's it treating you, man?
You know what? It has. I had some challenges. I explained to him earlier, but outside of that, man, it's owning a security firm and doing speaking. About 99% of all my engagements were gone within 48 hours that I had lined up for 2020. However, this whole online thing has me spoiled, and I'm really not trying to get back on the road again. If I can just do this all day, I'm good.
Are you guys traveling on your own? Are you guys taking planes? Are you guys taking buses?
When I travel, I travel by bus. Literally because I got PTSD and anxiety. See, and I do that. I do that as a badge of honor to let people know. Don't be ashamed of it. But when I travel, I literally have to go by bus. So you can imagine, from Albany to Atlanta, that's 2 hours. From Albany to New York, look, that's a kind of crazy ride. But Albany to LA, that's even crazier. But I'm safe because it's just me by myself. So.
What about you,
I'm
Joseph?
still on the plane.
I've been flying a lot by plane lately, although the restrictions aren't really affecting me here in New York City. Nationwide, it's getting pretty bad. What do you guys think?
I'm on Southwest. Me and Southwest are like best friends. I mean, of course you need to fly Delta, first class, Emerald, Gold, whatever. But that's just overhyped for me. Southwest is just simple, to the point. I can just put my hood on. No one knows who I am. And I just look mean, so no one sits next to me, and I'm good, bro. I throw on my gangster look. I take my hat, I break it to the left. I start listening to some crazy Ice Cube, and they be like, them little white people be like, oh my God. Like, yep, keep going.
Until they find out you're a motivational speaker.
No, they don't find out till that you get like 30,000 feet in the air. Then I'll take it all off. Yeah.
Well, 2020 has been actually rewarding for me because I've continued with my weight loss journey. About 2 years ago, I weighed in at 368 pounds, and now I am down to 245 pounds. So I've continued to lose weight, and even with COVID and everything, I have done really good this year.
What's the ideal weight for you, Stingray?
The goal weight is 220 pounds.
When you got the six-pack bulging out?
What now?
When you got the six-pack bulging out?
Not yet, no, but I'm working on that.
Hey, for y'all that don't know, look, go check out Stingray Show on Facebook. I swear to God, y'all bust out laughing. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I watched this thing. See, that's the thing. I don't promote other people's stuff on here, but the Stingray Show is one of those shows that I actually watch. It's like, if it's not CTS, I don't watch it.
Right.
Man, but I'm not going to tell people I watch it. But the Stingray Show is honestly one of the best sports shows on the internet right now.
A friend of mine told me about it, and that's how I knew who it was. So I'm sitting up here like, okay, that's damn Stingray. That's dang Stingray right there. I'm sitting up here like, Joe didn't tell me Stingray gonna be here. I'm like, okay, I got Shawn Harper and Stingray. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be a groupie for about 5-10 minutes. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care how many books I wrote, man. I'm like, I'm on a Zoom meeting with Stingray and Shawn Harper. Boy, you can't tell me nothing now. I got to put all these Christmas stories together.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, we were talking we were talking about this earlier. We was when Rafael and Stingray was, I guess Stingray was signing autographs, and Rafael was keeping his girls in line because he's a player. Shawn, you want to tell Manswell where you're from, man?
Yeah, I'm college. I played for Coach Bill Mallory at Indiana University back when we were really good. So, but I live about 20 minutes away from Ohio State Stadium. I live in Columbus, Ohio. So
You're in Columbus.
yeah, so I'm a straight up Buckeye, and I yeah. No, I'm just
You know I got something for him, right?
Straight up Buckeye.
There was this year that the Florida Gators, I can't remember what year it was, but I think it was a spanking in football, and Ohio State was favored, and then we came back and pow, in basketball. We beat Ohio State too that year, I think. Not that I'm going to brag about how my Florida Gators actually did that in the same season because, my memory's kind of old because I got gray hair. But I do remember a spanking because Ohio State was favored in both of those games. And some kid named Joakim Noah just really upset the basketball world when we did that. I was at that game, actually. Lost my voice for 2 days.
Yeah, really. You know what, though? The thing about that is that was once upon a time. I mean, that's kind of like Pittsburgh and Dallas and Tom Landry. You know what I mean, bro? I mean, my question is, what's happened? Did y'all win this past weekend?
No, I said, no, we didn't win this last weekend, but guess what? I can always go to YouTube and pull up those memories.
Listen.
Memories.
Listen. You sound like the 83-84 Bears. I mean, because if you go anywhere within the limits of Chicago, and I don't care if you're talking about the moon, before that conversation ends, they're gonna be like 83-84 Bears, bro.
Okay. Look, since we going below the belt, Mr. Indianapolis coach, man, I remember y'all. Look, the NFL felt so sorry for y'all. They put y'all out of our division, made y'all on separate division because
Wait a second, have we moved over to football now?
Look, watch this. Look, what
are we talking about the NFL now?
Look, watch this. Patriots, 42 seasons, baby. My grandfather from Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh my God, dude!
Yes, baby. We gotta pull the coach out because the coach Tom Brady's gonna hurt them, and we got to save the coach. And so let's pick them up like a little bit. Here we are, Coach. Go. Here we go. We're gonna put you over here. You'll be safe, and then you can win a couple of division titles, and then you're good to go. Rock-a-bye Colts in the treetop. Yep, we're gonna go there.
Hold on for a second. Hold on. We were talking about the Florida Gators. Now, I understand that you like to segue. Dog team, I understand that you like to segue over from like this because see, if I go there with with the Colts, the next thing you're gonna be talking about lacrosse next, and I don't want to go there with you. So let's just focus. Let's just focus on the football.
We beat y'all in basketball.
Focus on this.
Look, watch it. We beat y'all in checkers. We beat y'all in chess. We beat y'all in gymnastics.
Hold on for a second. Hold on. But you got spanked last week.
No,
you did lose. No, man.
No, we lost.
No, you lost.
But that was not a spanking. That was a loss.
Dude,
that was a loss. I'll take that.
We're not into listen. We are all sports professionals. We're not into moral victories and
wait, time out. Whoa, time out. Shawn, Rafael, did you just ask me what sport?
I said, what was the score?
52-46.
If you don't take your ass on somewhere, dude,
I'm just like 46. I don't know if that's a spanking, but that is a loss. And a loss
is a loss. I'll give you that credit. It's a loss. Now look, I'll be the first to say right here as a sports guy. If you are Alabama, Auburn, or Georgia, literally those are my top three that I will talk trash upon just to get on your skin because I'm a Florida Gator. What else do you expect? It's like I love the fact that we were actually able to go to Atlanta and play versus Georgia because it shut up everybody in Georgia. It shut up everybody in Georgia. The fact that no, you don't run, the SEC part no more. You don't run this East no more. We took it from you, and it hurt them. It hurt them to their souls. Yeah, we went to Alabama, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. In full disclosure, I thought Alabama was gonna beat us worse than they did.
Yeah.
When Alabama let us stay in the game, because Alabama was looking past us for the championship, brackets and stuff. So that's what I really see. Honestly, as a Florida Gator, I can say that. But Florida, boy, look here, you give us a chance. Guess what? We coming and we came. We came now. Look, watch it.
Stingray shaking his head. Stingray, what you got to say, man?
Stingray, talk to me, Stingray.
The reason Florida stayed in the game is because Pete Golding is a garbage defensive coordinator. Look at what he did against Florida. Look at what he did against Ole Miss. Up-tempo, fast-paced offenses, he sucks. I'm sorry, Joseph.
No, Stingray. When Alabama, it's like they went to a semi-prevent defense, and we were like, are you really going to leave our receivers that wide open?
Yes.
I mean, they were giving us 10 yards.
Yes.
Anybody can make that pass. And it's like Alabama should have crushed us. I'm not going to lie to you. In full disclosure, Alabama should have crushed us. If he tells his cornerback, come up 5 yards, our guys were going out 7-8 yards catching the ball. I'm like, what? Are you really giving us that much room? You're not supposed to do that. You're Alabama. You're supposed to shut us all the way down.
Right.
But first off, I called it. I said it from the get-go. I think I even told Stingray.
About that, Joe. We knew Alabama was going to win.
No, I remember I told you I was literally talking before the game. I was on a podcast and I told the guy, which I think they cut it because I literally had a panic attack right before we went on air. And I think they cut the interview. And I don't think I'm going to be on the podcast. But anyway, I remember talking to the guy and telling him, like, Florida's going to give Alabama hell.
Yeah.
So there was not a doubt in my mind that it was going to be a high-scoring game. And I did not think that Florida was just going to be a pushover. I wanted Alabama to win, but I was highly nervous.
Now, let me say this right here. And Lord, this pains me to say this right here. The biggest mistake that people have done this year, and I call it like I see it, Joe, they underestimated what Ohio State is this year. They're going off past stuff, and this Ohio State team is dangerous. I'm telling you right now, when this playoff starts, this Ohio State team, and Joe, I hate to give people credit when, I don't like them like that, but this Ohio State team is so dangerous. You're going to mess around here, and it won't be Alabama Clemson. You better not slip, because I told a friend of mine, I said, Ohio State has the weapons, and everybody named mama, including Vegas, is going Alabama Clemson. If you really watch college football, you didn't get a chance to really see the full potential what this Ohio State team, not last year, not the year before, but this Ohio State team can mess up the whole college football playoffs.
So had we had this conversation 2 weeks ago, being from Ohio State, from Columbus, I would have disagreed with you.
And see, but that's the difference, because you're not looking. I'm looking at it from the outside,
right?
And just like
but
I see what you guys got,
right? But there's two major weaknesses with Ohio State right now. One is that personally, I'm kind of worried about their pass rush. Okay. Coupled by the fact that I'm worried about their secondary. So now you have a pass rush that can give the quarterback an extra half second or 1 second.
Ooh, that's not good too.
And you have a secondary that's kind of struggling a little bit. And you go up against a top tier quarterback, you give him an extra second. That's
forever. Right. But remember, who are y'all playing this week though? Who y'all playing the first round of the playoffs though?
The number one pick in the draft. We're playing the number one pick in the draft.
Okay,
So what has given me?
What I'm telling you is their defense and Stingray. Tell me if I'm wrong. Their defensive coordinator, he's going to let you guys stay in the game. If you guys can do what Ohio State can do, he's going to let you stay in the game. It boils down to if you guys can capitalize on one or two mistakes that they make. I'm telling you, their defensive coordinator.
So what has given me hope is two things to counteract the negative two. Number one is, three things. Number one is South Carolina is doing too much trash talking. It's too much trash talking. And I'm telling you, you get them boys in Columbus and you get that trash talking. I mean, it's not good, Miami Hurricanes. It's not good. I'm telling you, it's number one. Number two, I wasn't a believer, but Ryan Day is a beast. He's a smart dude. I can see him taking a linebacker, putting his hand on the ground, third medium, third long, and speed rushing all day long. Yeah. But the thing that has really given me a huge glimmer of hope is Trey Sermon. Out of nowhere, this dude has last 2 games, he has come on to the point now you can capitalize on what the Big Ten is known for. Okay, the Big Ten, where we got off track for the last 20 plus years, is we was trying to be like Florida. We were trying to be like the SEC teams and be like all that speed. No, let me tell you something, baby. You got them 345 pounds, 6'6" offensive tackles. You put them between the tackles and you just play gut you football for 4 quarters. We can break just about anybody down. We were trying to be like everybody else. Now that we got that back with Trey Sermon, if he does half, if he gets about 170 yards, 150, 60 yards, it's going to be a heck of a game because we can control the box. And if you can control the box, you can.
But Stingray, the whole time he was talking, you were shaking, you was nodding your head. What you got? Of everybody on here, you're the one that knows more about NCAA football.
Okay.
What's your input?
My input is that what Maxwell said, we better hope that Ohio State and Notre Dame don't win, just simply because we need the playoff expanded in college football, because I honestly felt like that Cincinnati and Texas A&M both deserved a shot too. And so I really feel like that if the committee allows, or if they are right, if they are proven right by Notre Dame and or Ohio State winning, then they will keep it the 4 teams. And honestly, when you look at it, it's basically all about this and not necessarily what's good for college football and the fans. Because, we always like good storylines, good feel-good stories. Indiana, Shawn, was a really good story this year, just simply because you're taking a team like Indiana, who has been, down over the years, and you put them in a top 10, and they were, stride for stride with Ohio State in that game. I mean, that was a feel-good story, but you don't really have those with the 14 playoff. I think I saw a stat today where 22 of the 28 positions that's been in the college football playoff so far have only been through 5 teams. And those were only the cream of the crop. So, in this system, if you're not a Power 5 team and if you're not a blue blood of the Power 5, then you get absolutely no shot to have any chance to make it into the 14 playoff. I mean, ask Baylor, ask TCU, and then this year, ask Cincinnati and Texas A&M.
Well, exactly. I think, honestly, if we, since we're like all being honest right now and transparent, is that it's all coming down to money.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
Notre Dame has a very powerful fan base. They got money. Ohio State has money. Yep. The SEC, they got some money as well, but the Big Ten got money. I mean, it's like, they're like, money. So at the end of the day, this 4 teams is who's going to guarantee the ratings. Because I promise you right now, Alabama could have a bowl game on the moon, and there'll be fans on the moon watching that game.
On the moon.
So now,
and they'll be in VIP.
So now what we're going to have to do is to be able to take the first 4 or even the first 6 and say, hey, let's make the money, and let's take the last 2 and let's go after the Cinderella teams. Let's go after Cincinnati. Let's go after Boise State or
Well, we got to move on, but I got 2 questions. One, Manswell.
Yeah.
Who do you think Florida's going to play in the bowl game, and who are they going to get beat by?
Florida's probably going to get Oklahoma. And the reason why I think Florida's going to be in a close game, but then they're going to have another close loss. Pitts, which is our number one receiver, he's already declared for the NFL draft.
Ooh.
He's already said he's skipping the bowl game.
Okay.
When Pitts is playing, literally he draws a double or triple team, and so that's what makes Trash look so good. Kyle Trask looks good because if you got somebody over under and then somebody trying to actually spy on Pitt, you got two or three other receivers one-on-one. And so that's what helped us this year. You know, we weren't fooled by it. We all knew it. If you're a Florida Gator fan, you knew Pitt's in, we're gonna look good. Even the 2 games he was out, you know, yeah, we won, but you know, we knew we weren't that great team if he's out. So he's already declared that he's gonna skip the bowl game. Go get your money, young man. I'm not mad at you. But do not expect the Florida Gators to win that bowl game. This is coming from the most diehard Florida game. Yeah. You know, if we win, I'll be happy. I'm going to drink. If we lose, I'll be happy and I'm going to drink. So it doesn't really matter. I'm going to drink and watch Florida play. So it don't matter.
Joseph, I'll say
go ahead, Sting.
Okay. Look at how Florida played against LSU without Pitts. They really struggled on offense, and the first drive of the game, they actually went down, and I think they were on like the 2-yard line, and LSU stopped them on 4th and goal to get the ball. So that's they really struggled against that LSU defense in a game that, I mean, LSU should not even have been on the same field with them. No. And then, of course, they you know, dropped that egg against LSU.
The bad thing about it was that Pitts could have played in the LSU game.
Yeah,
he was actually healthy. All the coaches and him, even him, he thought they were going to play in that game. We beat LSU. That makes more intrigue for the Alabama game. It makes that game, you know, more essential. But when I don't understand a head coach, sometimes I swear to God, you know, he does stuff that's stupid and he does something to make you think he's a genius. But holding Pitts out against LSU when he said we can beat him without it, and we were like, watch, we lose the game. We were literally on our alumni page and we was like, we're gonna lose this game because Pitts is healthy. He's not playing. He's over on the sideline when he could have played Pitts. Even if you dress him up and use him as a dummy receiver, you see what I'm saying? We win the game because everybody's going to pay attention to him. LSU did not have to pay attention to Pitts because he was over there by the guy holding the clipboard. So they actually played their full throttle defense, and it shows you. I kept telling everybody all season long, Florida is honestly not a top 10 team. I can admit that as a Florida Gator, we're not a top 10 team. I knew that. I kept telling everybody, like, no, yes, we are. No, we're not. If you can take out one player from our offense and we struggle, we're not a top 10 team. Right. Look, this guy right here with Ohio State, that's the top 10 team. Florida Gators, we're not a top 10 team.
Speaking of Ohio, before we move on, I got to ask, Rafael.
Yes.
I want to put your business on Front Street.
Uh-oh.
Anything special in Ohio that you want to talk about?
Well, it turns out, gentlemen, that I have a new child and a baby mama who lives in Ohio. A Buckeye, no less.
Congratulations, my friend.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck with that, buddy.
Not till Maury Povich himself calls me.
Well, I got the results right here. They say, in the case of you and your baby mama, you are the father.
I'm surprised nobody has ever accused Maury of being the kid's father. I think if I were on that show, I would automatically pin the kid on Maury. That baby got
I would too.
Maury.
That baby could look just like me, and I'm like, nope, that baby is Joseph's baby, man. Right there. The kid next to me right there is Joe baby, man. Yeah. That kid looked just like me, and I'm like, that's Joe was over there, Stingray was over there. No, it ain't mine, man. No, it's one of them. Just them, man.
So all three. So basically, you saying that you, me, and Stingray hit it?
Yeah. That's so much future on national TV in front of everybody.
That's interesting. That's going
to be one ugly looking kid.
That's going.
Leave that at the hospital. Don't just double park your car and leave.
If that baby come out and say "Go Bulldog," I swear to y'all gonna know that's not my child. That's not my child.
So let me ask y'all this. Rafael, Stingray, we're part of the CTS, but Manswell, I'm gonna start with you first because you're one of the first people I ever interviewed.
Right.
2020. All right. You can get politics, you can get the COVID. it had to be some good. I mean, business wise, something good happened. Well, anything good that happened in 2020 for you?
You know, believe it or not, literally, I'm gonna tell you, I submitted an email, and I submitted to ABC and some other people, you know, about the show Scandal, because I had written this spinoff for B613. If you're a Scandal fan, and you know, you send off the email, and you're like, okay, you know, they're not gonna read my email, they're gonna let it go by, and then all of a sudden, 2 days ago, my phone rings. And I'm like, this is an LA number, you know. I'm like, I don't recognize it, but somebody got it, because you know, Joe, you know how I feel about this number. My other number is off to January 3rd. So I answered the phone, and the girl was like, hey, this is so from ABC Network. We want to talk to you about your email. And I'm like, she said, hold on, we're gonna put you in conference. So I get on there, and I got all these execs and everybody else, and I'm like, my wife's like, what's going on? I'm like, so I'm now my heart is like this right here, right? And I'm like, it's ABC. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So what y'all want to talk about? Mind you, I'm sitting there like, look, my heart's like right here. I'm like, yeah, everything's cool. Yeah, I'm cool. Oh, y'all like the email? Okay. Oh, y'all like the idea of a spinoff? Yeah, okay, yeah. I wrote that up here. And then so they're like, well, you know, we got to contact, you know, Shonda Rhimes and everybody else. You know, they say, you know, we had an issue with that, blah, blah, blah. So now we're in the middle of a bidding war between ABC and Netflix.
I'll give you $30 for it right now.
No. And so literally, that's the best thing that happened to me, man. I'm like, I'm in a bidding war between Netflix and ABC, and all of them, they're throwing everything in the kitchen sink, because ABC is like, we'll give you a whole night. We'll give you 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, because we've seen your books. We know you can write. We talked to other people. And so then Shonda and Netflix said we can do the same thing. And so that's my beautiful thing. 2 days ago, early Christmas gift.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome, Shawn.
But you know what? I've throughout all this, me owning a security firm, this has been our highest year of revenue, and it's just absolutely amazing, because there are companies that are going out of business left and right. But if I could say so boldly, God has been able to sustain me and to sustain us through all of this, and understanding that I'm on a totally different economy, that I'm on the kingdom, you know. So I'm a huge giver, I'm a huge sower, I'm a huge blesser. My motto, one of my many mottos, is that it doesn't come to you if it can't get through you. And he always has my six, he always has my back. And now I've just met up yesterday. I was on a Zoom call, because I've been looking for an actual corporate coach, like somebody who can coach me, you know, because I'm like high profile, I'm like driven, like I'm like a D on the disc. I'm like, let's go, let's win, you know, so I need a special type of coach who's beyond me. And coincidentally, he's in the Atlanta area, and he worked with, up until recently, the #1 motivational speaker in the world. I won't mention any names, but he worked with him personally. And so now he's like, I want to work with you. And I'm like, well, I want to work with you. And so that is a huge, huge opportunity. And that's the blessing.
Well, there you go. And listen, if you know, last time you was on, I plugged your speech, because I'm gonna tell everybody, man, that when I started interviewing you, I looked at that the first thing I found was that video. I think I told you this, with the chains.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it touched me, and I still listen to that video every day.
Wow.
Now I was okay. Every day is a little too much, but I
understand. I know what you mean.
You know, when I'm like, I need some motivation, either I'm going to listen to that video or I'm going to watch Rocky IV. One of the two.
Wow.
Yeah.
Joe, can I say something? And it's like, you know, literally when Joe hit me up and said, come to the show, blah, blah, blah. And then he told me, and I'm sitting here like, that's why I told both of you, you know, Shawn and Stingray, it's like, you know, Shawn, we played your motivational speeches before. Stingray, I've seen your funny stuff before. And that's why I'm sitting there like, you know, I got a friend named Joseph who actually got me on with two people that I adore and admire. And I'm sitting up here like, you know, that's what I mean by the humbleness part. You guys are like here for me. You see what I'm saying? You
Yes.
guys are like here for me. And I'm sitting here like, I'm freaking out because I'm texting my wife. I'm like, I'm on the freaking Zoom with Shawn and Stingray. And she's like, did you be a groupie? I said, yes. She's like, oh my God, why'd you do that? And I'm like, but I'm real.
Yeah.
And I'm
all
sitting up
day.
here like, I'm
All day.
up here with Shawn Harper and Stingray. And I'm like, get the out of here. Joe, I owe you dinner for this one, man.
Let me tell you a story about Sting right here. I had a social media consultant when I started this. Me and Rafael and my sister Jamie kind of, you know, we got together and we were us three, along with other people. I want to mention Boo Williams. Well, you know, anyway, my social media consultant Lou, he was telling me, you know, you need to start with high school coaches, you know, stuff, local people. And I was like, nah, you know, we have to. But, you know, I told him, I said, I want to start with this one guy. Like, I follow him on Facebook. I want this guy. And we get this guy, we know we made it. And his name was Jermaine Funnyman Johnson. Now, I don't know if y'all ever heard. I know Manswell's probably heard of him. I follow him. I mean, we can get this guy. First interview we ever had, it was a close first personal friend of mine. He played for Ole Miss. Second interview I booked was Jermaine Funnyman Johnson. I'm like, now how are we going to top this? However, Jermaine got in some trouble in Birmingham due to the George Floyd incident that happened in was it Minnesota?
Yeah.
You know, when George Floyd got murdered, the whole country was pissed off. Mm-hmm. Jermaine went to Birmingham and he decided to get pissed off too. And you know, well, it was what it was. Jermaine voiced his opinion, and Jermaine. But the thing about Jermaine was Jermaine's fan base is Alabama football fans. And most Alabama football fans don't want to listen to a man coming on talking about remove Confederate statues and stuff like that. Right. Plus, he was cussing, and Jermaine Funnyman Johnson doesn't cuss.
No.
So, but Jermaine Johnson went to Birmingham and cuss. So he canceled on me, and I'm trying to figure out how am I going to God. I've been promoting Jermaine. I've been doing this. How am I going to top this? And then I sent in a friend request to Stingray, Stephen Ray. And I asked the guy, I said, dude, I'm doing a YouTube page. Do you want to come on? 2 seconds later, yeah, sure. And Stingray came on. I was like, man, you saved my life. I didn't know, because at this time, you got to understand, CTS was just brand spanking new. I didn't know anything about booking guests. I didn't know how to reach out to people. And I didn't know what to do. I was going to interview Rafael. So Stingray, you know, Stingray definitely was one of those people that helped out the CTS, and I'm always indebted to Stingray. So with that said, Stingray, anything special that's happened in 2020 besides meeting me?
Well, you know, Manswell just talked about him being kind of, you know, starstruck or whatever with, you know, myself and Shawn on here. And by the way, I want to thank you for that, Manuel. But I actually had an actual moment like that not too long ago. I think it was 3 Tuesdays ago on my Stingray show. We were very, very fortunate and lucky to get the legendary Tim Brando on the show.
Wow.
And get this now. So we book him, and we're actually doing it live. And so I played a little clip of him doing a call of the Alabama-Mississippi State game that actually went into overtime the year that the tornado hit the Georgia Dome. And so I brought him in and I said, and ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is the one, the only Mr. Tim Brando. I pop him up and I said, Mr. Brando, how are you doing today, sir? He goes, and I quote, Cheers. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you guys. Listen, I have always wanted to meet and converse with the Stingray, and now I get to. And I'm sitting there this whole interview going, I want to interview Tim, but Tim wants to get to know me. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God. Well, the best thing about that was Heath and myself had to actually cut Tim off because we had another guest coming on. Tim talked for 90 minutes. And I'm sitting there going, this is gold, guys. So, the Stingray show has really taken off. It's been one of the many blessings that I have had over this year. And I will also, not to brag or anything, but we just crunched the numbers earlier today. So far, through 26 episodes, we've had close to 93,000 people watch our show.
Now, my question is, are you going to bring that viewership to the CTS?
Yes, I sure can. Yes, absolutely.
Rafael, your thoughts on
sir.
2020?
2020 has been horrible for me. I live in New York City. The politics are bad. The violence is bad. My work sucks. And, I'm keeping busy with a bunch of other things.
Right.
Started some online businesses that are doing all right. Nothing to brag about just yet. And I had a baby.
Well, wait a second now. The baby, that's huge, bro. That's a blessing. Jesus,
Rafael, this is
clean that one up, bro, because one day she might listen to that and she'll be scarred for life with that one.
It's a boy.
Hey,
he good.
Hey, listen. Hey, first,
yeah, he's fine.
Hey, first off, this is Rafael. Shawn is right. This is a very special occasion. This is the first one you ever claimed.
That's true. And that's exactly why I don't go to Canada.
That's funny, man. That's right.
Y'all are wilding out, man.
Or Alabama. Or Phoenix.
Now, I want to
California. Or Southern California. Or Florida.
Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all a little family. I'm gonna tell y'all a little family thing here. My father and Rafael's father are brothers.
Allegedly.
Now I met my Uncle Willie twice in my whole life, and but I heard stories, and I know my dad. And if the best way I can say is Rafael is definitely, if they say all the stories are correct about Willie, his father, I know all the stories about my dad are true. Rafael is a true representative of the Lozada family because he's just like my dad. My dad, if you can have a conversation with my dad, picture George, not George. The picture, you remember the show The Jeffersons?
Yeah.
What was his first name?
George.
George Jefferson. George Jefferson, James from Good Times, and Mike Tyson. Put those three people together. That's my dad. And yes, because my dad, when he's drinking and having a good time, he's like George Jefferson. But the way he worked on the railroad all his life, so he wore clothes like James from Good Times. And he was always built like James. He had big arms, but he was like 5'7" or 8. So he was he dressed just like James from Good Times coming home from work. And I say Mike Tyson because if you got in trouble and you got on his bad side, and he had that Mike Tyson stare, you didn't want no piece of him. Mm-hmm. But just now at 71, him and Rafael, they're the same people. Exact same people.
Wow.
Surely I can't confirm or deny anything of what he's talking about.
I want to jump into some. I'm not going. All I just want to know is a yes or no answer. That's it. Don't want to get into politics. This is the last question. President Trump, is history going to redeem it? What do you think history is going to, in the history books, what do you think is going to say about President Trump? Do you think it's going to be good or bad? Yes or no? Is it going to be good or bad? Manswell.
Bad.
Shawn.
I'm going to say good.
All right, Stingray.
Yeah, I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole, man. I'm a sports guy. I love
Stingray. We're not asking you to give your position on his policies and politics. Just, do you think history is going to redeem President Trump? Yes or no?
Yes.
Rafael.
I too will say yes, but it's going to be a long while. I'm going to say at least 15, 20 years down the line, when you see that his stance on China and Russia starts to pan out. You know, you figure if there's ever peace in the Middle East, now that Israel is doing business with other Middle Eastern countries, like, you got to give the credit to Trump, at least to some extent. And I think that'll happen in 10 to 20 years.
No. I wrote the book American Tea Party. No, that's my answer.
I'm going to say
right there.
I'm going to say yes, because there's a lot of things I did not agree with what he did. There are things that I do not agree with, did not agree with. But I also think that there was a lot of shady, for the lack of the better word, conspiracies or things that were levied against him. And I think, 20, 30 years from now, documentary is going to come out and go, maybe he was right. Maybe he did win Georgia. Maybe this did happen. And so I think there's going to be some redemptive quality in that.
As a guy that studies history, and I'm big on politics here, and it's weird because being in LA land, I have the freedom of actually speaking my mind about politics. The reason why I say no, you don't have to agree with everything a president does or says, but there comes a time where you have to make that step, that moment, that pivot that we all know about. And literally, there were a couple times he could have made that pivot. And I think that's the only thing that keeps him from being redeemed. And so it's like right now, the stuff that's going on, and I'm not going to dig deep into it. It's like, he could have won re-election. Let's say it that way. If he would have done that pivot. And he had several opportunities to do that pivot, and he didn't. And so that's why he's one of 3 presidents. Listen to me, guys. This is history. He's one of 3 presidents not to win re-election. If he does that pivot, he wins re-election. I mean, I don't have a problem. I'm a Navy guy. I swore to defend the Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic. If he makes that pivot, he's re-elected. It doesn't matter who runs against him.
Can I say, I really, looking back on it now, I really feel like that first debate did him in. The way he was such a jerk and, would not, I mean, good, bad, right, or wrong, you can't act that way. And especially with the way that his track record, I really feel like that was pretty much the nail in the coffin looking back now. And it was like, man, if he just hadn't have done that, but I mean, it's what it is. But I mean, that was, looking back, that was really a bad look for him, that first debate with Joe Biden.
And see, the reason why I say this, I'm going to say this right here. Trust me, his tax cut, oh, I love it. I'm going to lie to you. I love it.
Yes.
That was one of those pivot moments.
Yes.
If he pivots, he gets reelected. God, it is hard to defeat an incumbent president in this country.
Right.
If he pivots one time, and he had multiple opportunities, if he pivots one time, no matter what he's done, he pivots one time, he's reelected. The Democrats still hold, the House, and the Senate's probably going to be where it is. But, that's the part of history that's going to get him. He never pivoted when he had multiple opportunities. And so,
yeah.
Just like Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter, he didn't do the pivot.
So that's a good point, Manswell. Well, with that said, this is going to be the end of the show. So, Rafael, last question for you. What do we got in store for the top 10?
For the top 10, another riveting episode.
Are we going to even do any episodes? Because anybody that knows the CTS interview room, we do one like once every 3 months. And people want to like, why don't you do more top 10s? It's because Rafael thinks that, drinking whiskey and having fornication is more important than the CTS. Am I right?
The facts are the facts, and they are undeniable.
Stingray, you're the news member of the CTS interview room. What we got in store for you? What are you going to do? You did one episode, the weekly game of the week, but then you was like, you know what? I got more stuff coming. I need to prepare more. What do you have in store?
I'm still working on that, but a highlight show is definitely in the cards.
Nice.
All right, Shawn Harper, the legendary, the best motivational speaker I ever met in my entire life. What we got in store for 2021?
You know what? I fully expect my coach to kick my butt and to take me to a whole new level, and I'm going to emerge 2021 like never before within 6 months.
Nice.
All right, Manswell. I know what's happening in 2020 for you, but go ahead and refresh everybody's memory. Tell everybody about the blessings that's coming your way.
Man, again, I just want Netflix, HBO, Lionsgate. I'm just excited about all of it. I'm gonna try to get Debo in a movie down there. I'm gonna try to put Debo in the movie,
Come
man.
on, T.
Hey, matter of fact, I'm gonna try to get all of y'all to put. I got a movie called Man Laws. I swear to God, it's a comedy. We're gonna shoot in Columbus, Georgia. I need Stingray, I need Rafael, Joe, and I need Debo down there. I need all y'all in that movie. I'll give you guys a walk-on part.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be there, and you come in,
Yeah,
and you're going to make that 40-minute drive to my house. But with that said, Rafael made a life decision a long time ago that he's never coming down to Georgia and Alabama. I've been trying for years.
The devil went down to Georgia one time. He can come down again.
I'll do that for that. I'll be there.
yeah.
Thank you.
Wait, hey, whoa, time out. You mean, whoa. You mean you'll come down for a movie, but you won't come down for your own cousin?
Sure.
It's the movie. Dude, I'm giving up. Look, all of y'all going to be in a bar drinking. The scene I got for you guys, all of us going to be in a bar drinking. So it's a fun scene we're going to put you guys in.
There's going to be boats and ninjas.
That's right. And there'll be food.
All right. Speaking of food, Shawn's got to go eat. So with that said, listen, I want to say this, Stingray, I'm glad you're part of the family now. Man, I'm a big fan. Rafael, I love you. I don't say that a lot. Don't get me that look, Rafael.
Put it in the text.
I just want Stingray to add me, man. I just want Stingray to add me on Facebook, man. I swear that'll make my whole night right there, man. I want to be friends with Stingray. So look, other than that, we good, man. I'm out.
I'll say one more thing real quick, please.
Hurry up. Shawn's got to eat, Stingray.
In parting, I would like to wish all of you guys a very Merry Christmas.
Oh, I love you, man.
Love you, man. Love you guys, man. Go Gators.
Love that.
All right. With that said,
all right,
Rafael, you didn't say I love you too.
I really like you guys. Have a good You guys are great.
That's awesome.
All right. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, that was 2020 CTS interview room. Be checking us out in 2021. And like always, yes, we're going to be back 2021.
Love it.
Hey, see you next year.
Dog team, hit me up.
I got you,
Right
man.
there, guys.
All right. Take care.